Do you think it's possible for him to succeed in all these lawsuits that his campaign has been filing in all the different states to counter the vote outcomes?
They say it's unlikely his contestation will hold, although his strong supporters insist that in the end President Trump will trump.
So thanks so much, Prof. Chan, for taking the time to sit down with us for this.
Pleasure, and welcome to my home.
Thank you, yes, it's lovely. So we wanted to start by asking, to help Singaporeans understand a bit better the atmosphere and the environment in the US now, why there was so much uncertainty over the results of the election this year.
The United States is a continent, is the 7th state in the world of population. The votes are not that easy to be counted quickly. And there are certain rules because this is now a time of COVID. Candidate Joe Biden recommended to Democrats to do mail-in votes because don't go to the polling booth. You'll be gathering there and you might be risking your health, etc. So there were many mail-in votes, and mail-in votes are counted after the votes that were done in person. That's why you saw initially President Trump's numbers looked very healthy and very good. Then when the mail-in votes started being counted, Joe Biden caught up, which was expected, by the way. I think by and large, people accept the election result as, going the way for Biden. Many of the states said there was no reason for recount. There was no irregularities. Election went smoothly. You have first President-elect Biden standing up and giving his speech, to say that he believes he's won the election. He's comfortable to say that. The thing is, President Trump has not conceded, and he won't concede. And some of his friends will not agree with him he should not concede. He won 71 million votes to Joe Biden's 75 million votes. So it's not like he won very few votes.
Yeah, which then brings us to the question of why so many American voters continue to choose Trump.
Now, some people cannot understand why. People vote for different reasons, The conventional wisdom was surely when you see how badly he handled the COVID pandemic, Americans would vote against him. In fact, no. The fact that he got the virus, Democrats may say, oh my goodness, there you are, it just proves the point. Republicans will say, hey, he recovered, he's a strong man, he's right. Don't make such a fuss about the virus because you can recover from it. So why wear a mask? Why not leave the economy open and let's mix? America is a divided society. People call this culture wars. It's a totally different culture. They face different things. They want different things. So they are divided on different issues. Some people are very happy. Donald Trump took a strong stance on immigration, and they will not allow populations from different places to come in. Some people have said the Democrats stand for liberal values of the East Coast and West Coast. And Middle America doesn't think like that. They are so glad Donald Trump is standing for the values they stand for. That's why you still get support, for President Trump.
Turning internationally and understanding the impact of the US presidency on Singapore, what was the impact of Trump's presidency on Singapore?
Singapore did quite well under the Trump administration. Prime Minister Lee met with President Trump 4 times. It averages to 1 each year, which is very hard to achieve. A lot of countries, their presidents or prime ministers don't meet the President of the United States the whole term. Now, we had 4 meetings. Then we deepened our strategic framework agreement, renewed what we signed, extended some defense cooperation, So that's a pretty good achievement. So that's how I see the Trump administration.
Some Singaporeans may know that the US actually didn't send an ambassador to Singapore throughout Trump's administration and presidency. So do you think that we would get one when Biden comes in?
I hope so. I'm sure we are making representations to say this is important. We did okay But that should not be the norm.
We now want to turn to the election of Kamala Harris as America's first female vice president. Would this perhaps be some kind of statement expressed by American voters? Perhaps.
First of all, elections are not about the vice president, it's about the presidential candidate. Joe Biden said he would pick a woman to show diversity and gender balance. So he chose Kamala Harris. And because of what happened, Black Lives Matter and so on, there was a strong sense, that it should be an African American candidate. I would like to say that it means something special, but I was in the United States when Barack Obama was elected as the first black president. And everybody thought America is post-race, all the stuff that was written. Do you know, after that, the whole Senate, Congress, everybody gave President Obama a tough time. And I said it was almost like buyer's remorse, and they blocked a lot of his policies. But they celebrated, and it's a good thing. That's the good thing about American politics. They can come together, and at that moment they voted for an African American to be a president. But after that, they gave him a hard time. Now, in this ticket, they voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Joe Biden, frankly, carried most of it. If they objected to Kamala Harris, it could have affected the ticket. But it's about Joe Biden.
Do you think it's possible for him to succeed in all these lawsuits that his campaign has been filing in all the different states to counter the vote outcomes?
The reading of those who know and are familiar with politics in the United States, and they are Americans, they say it's unlikely his contestation will hold, although his strong supporters insist that in the end President Trump will trump.